This morning, Oregon Congressman Greg Walden makes a decision about his bid for governor. I'm Dave Adams. I had a chance to talk with Greg about his decision and some of the issues facing Oregon and the nation.
Well, the announcement is that I will not be running for governor and instead for re-election. I care deeply about where Oregon is and where it's headed and where it could be, but I've come to the conclusion that I can probably do more right now at the federal level because so much of the problem we are encountering starts and ends with what's happening in Washington right now with these high deficits killing jobs, the threat of higher taxes, and just these government takeovers, I think, are hurting the whole economy, and that's what it's all about right now is jobs. And I think after a few years in Washington and building up some seniority, I'm a problem solver that can work across party lines, have done so effectively over the years, and I think my biggest value right now is staying where I'm at.
What about a future run for governor?
Oh, I don't even want to get into that and start along a few years of speculation. I enjoy public service. I like trying to solve problems.
What would be the top three issues that you face in Washington, D.C. today?
Well, I think the first is jobs, and the question is, how do you actually pass something that will help small businesses that employ most of the people in Central Oregon and Eastern Oregon and Southern Oregon, in fact, in most of America? How do we help those small businesses stay alive? Second is, how do you help keep the flow of credit going from our community banks to these businesses so that they can continue to meet their payroll and buy their inputs for their products and services? I think credit's going to be extraordinarily important. And third is, how do you actually reform health care in a way that's both affordable, manageable, and can sustain itself going forward? And what we're seeing happen out of Washington right now is almost the reverse of all of those. They're cranking down on credit. The stimulus bill is almost a farce in terms of the jobs, and the health care reform, I just fear, is going in the wrong direction.
What about your committee assignments? Do you feel that was key also in your decision to stay there?
The Energy and Commerce Committee is one of the three top committees in the House. I am the top Republican on its Oversight and Investigations Subcommittee. We also have jurisdiction over energy and telecommunications. So everything from how do we get broadband and cell coverage into rural areas to dealing with health care and development of renewable energy and affordable energy access to it and management of it. All those go through the Energy and Commerce Committee. Everything from food safety to broadband expansion. It is an enormously important committee in the Congress, and one that I'm the only Oregonian to serve on, and one of only two from the Northwest to be on. And so our issues need a voice there, and I'm in a position where I can have some effect.
What are you hearing about the H1N1 vaccine? I know you're pushing for some kind of explanation about the shortage.
Well, the long and the short of it is what they found was when they went to produce the vaccine, normally for each egg that they insert the virus into to create the vaccine, they would get 3 doses back. This H1N1 virus reacted differently, and they only got back less than half a dose. The issue I have, though, is that the Secretary of Health and Human Services knew this was a problem from the beginning, and yet came to our committee in September and led us to believe that everything was on schedule, on time, and everybody that needed vaccine would have access to it starting in October. And I just think that they got ahead of themselves in their optimism.
At this point of the game, is there anything Congress can do to speed it up? Probably not.
No, there's not. Now, going forward, there are two things that we are looking at. One is there a different technology available to produce vaccine in a more rapid but still safe way? And the second is most other countries use something called an adjuvant, which expands the existing vaccine to be used more. It doesn't take as much, and it can be made more effective. The U.S. FDA, Food and Drug Administration, has not approved adjuvants in the U.S., and yet literally every other country around the globe uses them. So it extends the vaccine they have, and it makes it more effective in individuals. So that's something we raised as well to see what can be done there.
Oregon Congressman Greg Walden talking to KBND News this morning. I'm Dave Adams. Take Five is a production of 1110 KBND Radio News. Depend on us.